Great to have you with us now. In our first story, the Ghana Grid Company is warning it may not be able to maintain operational standards if government does not make available needed funding to address the cash flow challenges facing the company. At an annual general meeting, the managing director of GRIDCo, Jonathan Amwakoba, said the company is not in good financial standing.
In 2018 alone, GRIDCo recorded a whopping 114 million cedis, representing 260% of revenue lost due to unfavorable tariff regime, which managers blame on the almost 50% reduction in tariff announced by the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, despite a proposal for an upward adjustment. At an annual general meeting, the managing director of GRIDCo, Jonathan Amwakoba, said the situation is dire.
They haven't paid us. On exactly the 30th of December at 11 a.m., we are going to disconnect them, and I believe that is going to push them to do something about their indebtedness to us.
GRIDCo's primary role centers on undertaking economic dispatch of electricity from wholesale to bulk customers. This includes ECG and the Northern Electricity Distribution Company. Chief Executive Officer of the State Interest and Governance Authority, Stephen Asamoah-Boateng, is unhappy with the financial position of GRIDCo.
Going through the 2018 annual report of GRIDCo, I noticed that although the company has endured financial challenges, you somehow managed to record some achievements, although modest, which is very, very commendable.
But Deputy Energy Minister Williams Oreku Edu assures government is working to fix it.
The Ministry of Energy on our part is fully committed to and will continue to support measures aimed at improving the operational outcomes and financial fortunes of GRIDCo. To this end, we will continue to strengthen the collaborative efforts with other stakeholders such as the State Interest and Governance Authority to make GRIDCo a viable establishment.
Last week, the senior staff of GRIDCo asked staffs to withdraw all emergencies to push government to settle debt owed the company by ECG, VALCO, PDS and others.
It is therefore imperative that there be an appropriate injection of capital in order to maintain high operational standards.
Reporting for JoyNews, Sally Nanekwa Abuajua.
Now, we've been joined on the line by Chairman of the Senior Staff Association, Raphael Kono. Mr. Kono, what's the roadmap outlined by the Staff Association on indebtedness to the company?
Yeah, hello?
Mr. Kono, you're on air.
Yes. I believe you're asking me about the roadmap
outlined by the Senior Staff Association.
Yes.
Let's know what is in this roadmap.
Well, as we indicated in our press conference, the roadmap that we have initiated is on course. And Tuesday, we are embarking on a demonstration to the Ministry of Finance and then ECG to present a petition to them, to the Minister and then the Managing Director of ECG. And that is the roadmap. After that, we'll break the news on the way forward for our people at the Independence Square.
We just heard the head of your entity, Mr. Amwakoba, mention emphatically that if by 30th the debts are not paid, GRIDCo will cut electricity supply to ECG. In your view, is this not strong enough?
I can't hear that aspect well.
Your MD has given government an ultimatum, or the ECG at least an ultimatum. Is this not enough?
Your line is still faint. I can't hear that question very well.
Mr. Kono, can you hear me now?
Hello, yes.
Great. I'm asking that your MD has given government an ultimatum to settle its indebtedness to GRIDCo. Is this ultimatum not enough?
Well, for us, we think that this government paying our this thing has always been the case. We've had series of meetings with our management, and that has always been the promise. But now what we need is action, not words. The time of words are over. And we think that, look, the time has come for something to be paid.
Now, we have your MD on the record saying that if by 30th December these monies are not paid, there was cut electricity supply. You're saying that you don't trust that government will follow this?
Are you saying that you heard our MD saying so?
Yes, we just played that soundbite.
Well, for us, that is his assertion. We are feeling the heat, and for us, the aluta is still ongoing. And if it means we sleeping at the GRIDCo head office during the Christmas break, we'll do that. And so we are not banging our hopes on West. We want action.
So, Mr. Connor, what is your deadline? What's the workers' deadline to government to settle the indebtedness to GRIDCo?
Well, we have given from 21st up to now, up to 4th, it's about 2 weeks. And I believe that 2 weeks is enough time. And so, as I said, after the demonstration tomorrow, we'll break the news to our staff, our members at the Independence Square on the way forward.
When you say 21st to 4th, what do you mean?
When I say what?
You said that from 21st to the 4th is a long time. Are you indicating from the 4th when you made the announcement to the 21st also?
Yes. What we mean is that 2 weeks is enough time. And if we are very serious about this debt, I believe by now a concrete initiative, in every solution, you have short, medium, and long term. In the short term, government should tell us what they are doing in the short term. And that one, we are saying that our looters will continue until we see those monies, a quantum of them, quite substantial of them, in our account. We are not going to budge.
So if after this demonstration, you don't hear from government, what do you do?
That is why I say after the demonstration, we'll break the news to our members.
How long are you giving governments to act?
The time is even elapsing because on the 4th is the ultimatum we have given.
Okay.
And we are holding the demonstration on the 3rd. So after 3rd, I say we'll break the news to our people.
Thank you very much, Raphael Kono. But before we go, how does the indebtedness to the company affect you, the staff?
Oh, my brother, I think that you know that, let's say if you have a car on the road, you need to maintain the car for the car to deliver for you. The driver and the mate must be paid. And as we speak now, the last time we have our salary, in fact, it's over 34 days now that we were paid. This month's salary has not been paid yet, and we don't know when it's going to be paid. Apart from that, we have staff reimbursement that should have been done 2017. It's in arrears. In fact, as for the bonus, we don't want to talk about it. But expenditures that staff have incurred on behalf of the company when they go to work at outstations have not been paid. Our salary arrears for 2018, 2019 is still in limbo, and all sorts of things. In fact, our cry is mainly on our operations. As we speak, most of our equipment and machines are on a time bomb. You know, the country, we have 10% growth, annual growth of power every year.
Right.
And so next year, we may be having an injection of about 10% growth. Currently, we are doing around 2,800 megawatts. Next year, if you add 10% of that, it's going to be about 3,000. Now, the current infrastructure cannot withstand it. It means that power to Accra, which is the major consumption of our power, will not be met. And it's going to plunge some of the cities into darkness. Because
seems like a very dire situation there, Mr. Kono. So this is why you said earlier that you cannot trust that the ultimatum your MD is given will be enough for governments to repay their debts?
Oh, yes, of course. We don't say we can't trust. It's an appeal he's also making to government, because we've been having these discussions over the years.
Is it enough? Is the appeal enough?
Well, for me, I think management also have their style of appealing to government. Workers also have their style, because at the end of the day, we form the majority of staff in the company, and we are heavily impacted on.
But is management's appeal enough? Is the 31st December deadline enough?
Well, for me, is it to us or to government?
For you, you have talked about how it's affecting you. So I just want to know, and the deadline is to government. They've given government 31st
It's too long for us.
It's too long.
Yes, it's too long.
Thank you very much, Rafael Kono, for joining us. We have some news just coming in.